U.S. intelligence and counterterrorism officials are closely studying the events in France and their link to global terrorism. Let's get more about that from CBS News national security analyst Juan Zarate. He's in our Washington bureau. Juan, good morning.
Good morning, Anthony.
Juan, I wanted to ask you first about the woman who's on the run here, the suspect Ayad Boumediene, the girlfriend of Koulibaly. How important is it at this point for French police to try to catch her alive?
I think it's very important. First of all, she's considered armed and dangerous. She's had long-standing ties to one of the dead suspects, and so it's important to get her so that she doesn't cause further damage. But importantly, she may have important links and information to other parts of this network that may be activating. And one of the great concerns that the French counterterrorism officials have, as well as American and other officials, is that this network may be broader and that a series of attacks may be planned, either in a coordinated fashion or just inspired by these recent events. And so capturing her alive to get as much information as possible is very important.
It would seem at this point we have two different groups claiming responsibility. We heard Clarissa say it's Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, but we also heard the gentleman, or I shouldn't say gentleman, the man in the supermarket situation say he was with ISIS. Would a collaboration between these two terror groups be unique?
Well, in theory, they're in competition, Vanita, for hearts and minds for the leadership of the global jihadi movement. And at the sort of strategic and leadership level, there is a bit of a conflict. But the reality is they are ideologically aligned. They are piggybacking off of each other logistically. Many of the former Al-Qaeda groups themselves are claiming allegiance now to the Islamic State. And so collaboration in the field in a place like Paris wouldn't be altogether unusual. Plus, I wouldn't put too much on the banner being claimed by Koulibaly to be doing this on behalf of the Islamic State. In some ways, he may just be claiming that as part of his own narrative. These are individuals who had long-standing ties, were part of jihadi networks, and found an opportunity to attack in Paris, and they did so.
One, the Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula is saying they organized this, essentially. Is that credible? And if so, what's the significance of that?
Well, this is credible, I think, and it's dangerous because you have now the reports of the two brothers having traveled to Yemen from French authorities. The claim by one of them that they were launched by Anwar al-Awlaki, the Yemeni American cleric who had been killed in a drone strike, who was leading external operations. And AQAP, this al-Qaeda affiliate in Yemen, has always been known as the most dangerous outpost of al-Qaeda, committed to attacking the West, and very much focused on innovating ways to strike strategically. Authorities have been worried about innovative explosive devices in the past. Keep in mind the underwear bomb plot Christmas Day. But this is now a new form of attack. And if they're able now to deploy operatives in the West to attack in Western capitals, that's a dangerous innovation.
Well, Juan, as you know, there's a travel alert right now for Americans. How concerned should we be?
Well, I think U.S. authorities, U.S. citizens should be conscious of the fact that we're in a heightened state of terrorist threat. You've had Ottawa, Sydney, now Paris, and the U.S. remains a central target for global jihadi groups. And so that's why the State Department's put out the alert. That's why the FBI has put out its warning to local law enforcement to be on the lookout and to be conscious. And so people just need to be aware. I wouldn't be terrorized. I wouldn't be afraid. But you just got to be aware of the threats.
Juan Zarate in Washington this morning. Thank you.